Welcome back to Rare Lincoln Penny Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in American numismatic history, the 1977 Lincoln penny. At first glance it may look like an ordinary cent, but the truth is far from ordinary. Some examples of this coin have shocked collectors, sold at auctions for thousands of dollars, and continue to surprise experts with their hidden value. In this complete 15-part journey, we will uncover the history, rarity, design, market demand, errors, and true worth of the 1977 Lincoln cent. Stay tuned until the very end because every part reveals a piece of the puzzle that could make your pocket change worth a small fortune. The origin of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person and it quickly became iconic. By the 1970s, the Lincoln cent had already become one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The 1977 penny is part of this legacy, and while millions were minted, not every coin is the same. The design details. The obverse of the 1977 penny shows the famous bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse is the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to celebrate 150 years since Lincoln's birth. Collectors often look closely at the sharpness of Lincoln's hair, the details of the lettering, and the steps of the memorial to determine value. How many were made in 1977? The U.S. Mint struck over 4.4 billion Lincoln cents at the Philadelphia and Denver mints combined. At first, this huge number may make you think the coin is common. But hidden among billions are rare errors, high-quality proofs, and exceptional conditions that make certain coins extremely valuable today. The differences between MNTs. The Philadelphia Mint coins carry no mint mark, while the Denver Mint coins have a small d below the date. Collectors often notice that some Denver coins have stronger strikes or unique error varieties. Philadelphia coins, especially in pristine condition, can also bring high premiums. The proof coins. In addition to regular circulation coins, the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins in 1977. These were never meant for everyday use but were sold to collectors. A proof 1977 penny with mirror-like surfaces and perfect condition can be worth many times more than face value. Error varieties that bring big money. Collectors love error coins, and the 1977 Lincoln penny has some famous ones. Examples include double-die obverse varieties where the lettering appears doubled, off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, and clipped planchets where the edge is cut flat. These errors can transform a 1-cent coin into a $100 or $1,000 collectible. The condition factor. Perhaps the most important key to value is condition. A worn 1977 penny is usually worth 1 cent. But a coin graded mint state 65 or higher by a professional grading service can sell for hundreds of dollars. Collectors look for coins with sharp details, full luster, and no scratches. The current market value. In today's collector market, most circulated 1977 pennies are worth a few cents at best. However, in uncirculated condition they can range from $10 to $50. Proof coins may bring $20 to $100. And rare error coins or the highest graded examples have sold at auction for $7,000, $10,000, and even more. One record sale shocked collectors when a nearly flawless 1977 penny sold for nearly $8,000. Why people pay so much? You may wonder, why would anyone pay thousands for a penny? The answer is rarity and perfection. Collectors compete for the best of the best, and when only a handful of coins exist in such high quality, the price skyrockets. It's the same principle that drives art auctions and rare car sales. How to check your PNNIES? The good news is anyone can check their spare change. Start by looking at the date and mint mark. Then use a magnifying glass to check for doubling in the lettering, missing details, or strange edges. If your coin looks unusually sharp or different, it may be worth grading by a professional. The story of a DSCOVRY. One collector in the Midwest discovered a box of old coins from the 1970s. Inside were dozens of shiny 1977 pennies. He sent them for grading and one came back at mint state 67, an extremely rare grade. That coin sold at auction for over $6,000. Stories like these inspire collectors around the world. The rising interest in Lincoln CNTS in recent years, Lincoln cents have become a hot collecting field. Younger collectors start with pennies because they are easy to find, while advanced collectors chase the rarest examples. The 1977 penny sits right in the middle, common enough to be found, rare enough to be exciting. Historical value versus monetary value beyond the dollar signs, the 1977 Lincoln penny carries history. It connects us to the 1970s, a decade of American change, from new technology to cultural shifts. Holding a 1977 penny is like holding a piece of that history in your hand. Tips for SELLNG: if you think you have a valuable 1977 penny, never clean it, as cleaning destroys collector value. Store it safely in a holder and get it graded by PCGS or NGC, two of the most trusted grading services. Then you can decide to sell through auction houses, coin shows, or online platforms. Final thoughts and call TOACTO. And the 1977 Lincoln penny proves that treasure can still hide in plain sight. From errors to proofs to high-grade examples, this little coin can be worth far more than 1 cent. Some have reached values of nearly $8,000 and continue to rise. So check your coins carefully, the next rare penny could be in your pocket right now. This is Rare Lincoln Pennycoins, your home for the most fascinating stories and hidden values of American coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1977 penny, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries. Your change could hold history, and history could hold fortune. Stay tuned for our next episode. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Lincoln pennies, especially focusing on the 1981 cent, its rich history, and the surprising market value that has shocked collectors and investors. If you think that a penny is just 1 cent, by the end of this video, you'll realize that some of these little coins are worth thousands, and even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stay tuned until the very end because you don't want to miss the rarest details and shocking prices these coins have sold for. The birth of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. This marked the very first time a U.S. coin featured a real person rather than symbolic figures. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin quickly became iconic. The obverse side carried Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse originally displayed wheat stalks, giving rise to the famous wheat penny. Over time, this penny became more than currency, it became a symbol of American heritage, change, and history in your pocket. Transition from wheat penny to memorial design. In 1959, to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday, the U.S. Mint changed the reverse design from the wheat stalks to the Lincoln Memorial. This design would remain on pennies until 2008. Collectors divide pennies into categories: wheat pennies, memorial pennies, shield pennies, and transitional cents. Each design shift adds layers of historical and collectible value. Knowing the design periods helps collectors track rarity and market trends. The 1981 penny in history now. Let's zoom in on the year 1981. This year was historic for pennies because it was the last full year when U.S. pennies were minted primarily from a copper alloy. The composition was 95% copper and 5% zinc. Due to the rising cost of copper, the U.S. Mint made a major change in 1982 by switching to copper-plated zinc coins. This means that 1981 pennies represent the end of an era, and collectors value them because they were the last of the traditional heavy copper cents. Why copper matters? Why does copper matter? Because copper pennies are not only heavier, but they also have intrinsic metal value. When copper prices rise, these coins technically contain more metal value than their face value. Collectors and investors watch copper pennies closely because their melt value sometimes approaches or exceeds their 1 cent denomination. This makes 1981 pennies doubly interesting. They are historic and also have material value, mint marks and their importance. 1981 pennies were struck at 3 main mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins had no mint mark, Denver coins carry a small D mark, and San Francisco coins, usually proofs, bear an S. For collectors, mint marks are crucial. Some mint varieties are scarcer than others, and proof coins from San Francisco are especially prized because of their sharp details and low mintages. The proof and variety market proof coins are specially struck for collectors, not for circulation. 1981 S-proof pennies exist in both Type 1 and Type 2 varieties, distinguished by subtle differences in the S mint mark. Type 2 has a clearer, sharper S, while Type 1 looks more filled. This minor detail can make a big difference in market value, with Type 2 proofs often selling for significantly higher amounts. These varieties prove that even the smallest details can add tremendous value to a penny. Error coins and their value. One of the most exciting parts of penny collecting is error coins. A double die, an off-center strike, or a coin struck on the wrong planchet can turn a common cent into a rare treasure worth hundreds or even thousands. For 1981 pennies, collectors have reported double dies in both obverse and reverse, repunched mint marks, and off-metal strikes. These errors make ordinary-looking coins highly desirable for numismatists. Condition and grading. The condition of a penny can mean the difference between pocket change and a valuable collectible. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, with mint state 70, MS 70, being flawless. A 1981 penny in well-circulated condition may be worth only a few cents, but a flawless proof or uncirculated coin can be worth hundreds. Collectors seek out coins certified by grading services like PCGS and NGC because professional grading boosts both trust and market value. Current market value of 1981 pennies. Let's talk money. In the current collector market, a 1981 penny in average circulated condition might be worth 2 to 5 cents due to its copper content. Uncirculated examples in MS65 condition can fetch anywhere from $5 to $25, depending on demand. Rare proof versions and error coins can skyrocket into the hundreds. In extreme cases, coins with unique errors or pristine condition have reached auction prices well over $7,000, with collectors battling to own a piece of this copper legacy. Famous auctions and big sales. Auction houses have seen surprising sales of 1981 pennies. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for graded proof varieties, especially the Type 2 S mint proof. Stories of pennies selling for thousands capture headlines and fuel excitement among treasure hunters. Each sale adds to the lore of the coin and motivates more people to check their change jars and old collections. Why pennies are worth collecting. You may wonder why people go so crazy over a coin worth 1 cent. The answer is history, rarity, and passion. Coins are time capsules. They tell stories of changing economies, evolving technology, and national pride. For many collectors, pennies are the entry point into numismatics. They are affordable, abundant, and endlessly fascinating. The thrill of discovering a rare penny in pocket change is a priceless experience. How to spot valuable pennies. If you want to find valuable pennies, start by checking mint marks, condition, and any unusual features. Weigh your coins. Remember that 1981 copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams. Anything lighter may indicate a transition error. Use magnification to spot double dies or repunched marks. And always research varieties because the tiniest details can change a penny's value dramatically. Tips for collectors. Begin by saving all pre-1982 copper pennies. Store them properly to avoid damage and tarnish. If you suspect you have a rare variety, consider professional grading. Keep up with coin market news because prices rise and fall with demand. And most importantly, enjoy the journey. Coin collecting is not just about money, it's about history, curiosity, and the excitement of discovery. Closing and call to action. That brings us to the end of our deep dive into the 1981 Lincoln penny, its history, and its market value. We've explored how this coin represents the last era of copper, why varieties and errors matter, and how a humble cent can be worth thousands. Now it's your turn. Check your pocket change, your jars, and your old collections. You never know if you're holding a fortune in your hands. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to Rare Lincoln Penny Coins, where we uncover the hidden stories and values behind coins that most people overlook. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny, and share this video with your friends, because the next treasure might be hiding right under their nose. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Lincoln pennies, some of which are worth far more than their face value. Imagine holding a coin that looks ordinary but could be valued at thousands, even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. That's the mystery and excitement of rare pennies. Stay with us, because this journey will cover history, current market values, the secrets of collectors, and the amazing stories behind these coins. The origin of the Lincoln PNNY. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and became the first U.S. coin to feature the face of a real person. Since then, the penny has gone through several design changes and minting variations, making some years extremely valuable and collectible. But what makes a simple 1-cent coin so rare? It comes down to limited production, minting errors, historical significance, and collector demand. Why Lincoln pennies are valuable? Not all pennies are created equal. While billions of cents have been minted over the years, certain dates, mint marks, and errors make specific coins extremely rare. Collectors search for varieties such as double dies, off-center strikes, and low mintage issues. The smaller the number produced, the more valuable the coin becomes. Combine that rarity with high-grade condition, and suddenly a 1-cent piece can sell for thousands, or even close to $1 million. The 1943 steel cent. One of the most famous Lincoln pennies is the 1943 steel cent. During World War II, copper was needed for ammunition, so the U.S. Mint made pennies out of steel coated with zinc. But a few copper planchets were accidentally struck that year, creating one of the most valuable error coins in U.S. history. A genuine 1943 copper penny can fetch anywhere from $100,000 to over $1 million depending on condition. That's the power of rarity and historical context. The 1955 double die PNNY. Collectors get excited over error coins, and the 1955 double die is legendary. On this penny, the date and inscriptions show a dramatic doubling visible to the naked eye. Only around 20,000 were released into circulation, mostly in cigarette vending machines. Today, examples in good condition can sell for $5,000 to $20,000 or more. This coin turned everyday pocket change into a treasure hunt. The 2018 rare Lincoln PNNES. Fast forward to modern times, and even recent pennies from 2018 can hold surprises. Certain 2018 double dies and mint mark errors have caught the attention of collectors. While most 2018 pennies are worth face value, rare varieties can sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars if certified by grading services. The coin market proves that rarity isn't limited to old coins. Modern cents also carry hidden gems. Market value in 2025. Currently, the coin market is hotter than ever. Rare Lincoln pennies regularly appear in auctions, and values continue to climb. For example, a 2018 rare variety penny with clear doubling or unusual die markings can bring anywhere from $100 to over $5,000 depending on condition. Collectors are always chasing the next big discovery, so values are constantly changing. One penny that looks ordinary today could become tomorrow's treasure. The story of the 1909 SVDB PNNY. Another legendary rarity is the 1909 SVDB penny. This was the very first year of the Lincoln cent, and only 484,000 pieces with the designer's initials, VDB, on the reverse were minted in San Francisco. Today, this penny is one of the most iconic in U.S. history. In high grades, it can easily fetch between $1,000 and $50,000. It proves that history and scarcity make a powerful combination. How to identify rare pennies? So how can you tell if the penny in your pocket is valuable? First, check the date and mint mark. Look for rare years such as 1909, 1943, 1955, 1969, yes, 1972, 1983, and of course, 2018 varieties. Then examine the coin under magnification for doubling, mint errors, or unusual details. Condition also matters. A mint state coin is always worth more than one that's heavily circulated. The role of grading services. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC play a huge role in the coin market. They authenticate coins, assign a grade, and encapsulate them in tamper-proof holders. Collectors trust these grades, and certified coins often sell for much higher prices. A penny graded MS 65 or above can be worth several times more than the same coin ungraded. This is why serious collectors always consider grading. $1 million pennies, you heard that right. Some Lincoln cents have sold for close to $1 million. For example, certain 1943 copper pennies and high-grade 1958 double dies have achieved record-breaking prices at auction. These headline sales create excitement in the hobby and remind collectors that treasures are still out there waiting to be found. The hunt for hidden treasures. Every year, collectors, dealers, and treasure hunters search through pocket change, bank rolls, and estate collections looking for rare pennies. The thrill of discovery keeps the market alive. Imagine going through a jar of old coins and suddenly spotting a double die worth thousands of dollars. It has happened many times, and it could happen to anyone. The global demand for U.S. pennies, it's not just Americans who collect Lincoln cents. Around the world, numismatists and investors buy U.S. pennies for their history, artistry, and potential value. International demand increases prices, especially for rare varieties. Coins that once circulated only in the U.S. now have a global audience, making them even more valuable. How to start your own penny collecto. And if you're new to coin collecting, start small. Save pennies from circulation, buy rolls from the bank, and study key dates. Learn to use magnifying glasses, reference books, and online guides. Every expert collector began as a beginner, and with patience, anyone can build a valuable collection. Who knows, your first rare find might be just around the corner. Conclusion and call to action. And rare Lincoln pennies are more than just coins, they're pieces of history, art, and treasure. From the 1909 SVDB to the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die, and even modern 2018 varieties, each rare cent tells a story. Some are worth a few $100s, others worth hundreds of thousands. That's why collectors are always searching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe to Rare Lincoln Pennycoins for more videos on rare finds, market updates, and collecting tips. Don't forget to like, share, and drop a comment with your favorite Lincoln penny story. Together, we'll keep the hunt alive.